Why did the prototype kill Catnap? After rerouting the counselor's office's backup power to the statue, Ollie gives the player the final battery required to power the gas production zone, and after being placed, red smoke fills the room while Catnap chases the player. The player then enters the safe room and is required to fend off Catnap for 5 minutes constantly as he toys with the player, and upon reaching 5 minutes, a green grab pack hand receiver overcharges and the player utilizes this to eliminate Catnap at the sacrifice of the green hand. While Catnap does not die from the player's actions, he's seen kneeling before the prototype's presence, and just when we thought that the prototype was going to help him, he ends up brutally killing Catnap and taking his body. Now, why does this happen? It's been said by Ollie that Catnap treats the prototype as a god.
In Catnap's eyes, the prototype is a superhero and has saved this place. So Catnap treats him like a god, killing everyone that opposes him.
And we can even see him engaging in some type of prayer with an amalgamation of toys and parts in Playcare caravans, which is likely in devotion to the prototype. Not to mention the fact that the soul inside of Catnap, also known as Theodore Grambel, was an orphan inside of Playcare and was already influenced by the prototype, as he gained notoriety among the staff for his connection to an imaginary friend who seemed to encourage him to sabotage Playtime Co. In the Chapter 3 interactive ARG, Theodore's drawing depicted him in purple, sitting on his bed while a skeletal arm emerged from underneath. This drawing strongly suggested that Theodore's imaginary companion was Experiment 1006, or the prototype. So, if Catnap's devotion to the prototype dates all the way back to before he was even a toy, then why did he end up being killed by the person he devoted his life to? Well, that brings me to my first theory, which honestly makes the most sense, and I'm gonna say that this was because Catnap failed in killing us. Let's think about the ending of the game for a second. Let's say that we didn't end up damaging Catnap and he ended up killing us right then and there. Would it have made sense for the prototype to come down and kill him still? From the prototype's perspective, Catnap was given multiple chances to complete his objective, as in the beginning of the game, instead of just ripping us to shreds, he throws us down into a trash compactor, which we managed to escape from. While we're in Home Sweet Home, Catnap is seen stalking us from the shadows. Now, it's not clear whether or not Catnap popping up was due to the hallucination, but if it wasn't, he failed in killing us there as well. Even if Catnap wasn't there during the hallucination, we're still passed out on the floor in the real world, so he could have easily taken care of us there. But then again, we don't know if we passed out and then had the hallucination, or we were awake the whole time and our perception of reality was just being manipulated. Also, when we, the player, are sent to the counselor's office by Ollie to restore power, Catnap emerges from the gas and knocks us into some type of dream state. So at the end of the game, when the prototype sees that Catnap has failed yet again in killing us, it decides to just change plans and realizes that Catnap is not of use to him anymore. But what if Catnap kneeling to the prototype is an act of acceptance? Which leads me to my second theory. Catnap understands that he has failed and submits to the prototype, putting all of his trust into him and allowing himself to be a part of him, with the prototype's plan being to make himself and Catnap stronger in the endgame. Now, what do I mean a part of him? Well, if you remember what happened back in Chapter 2, after surviving Mommy Longlegs' rigged hide-and-seek game and just barely escaping into a nearby room, the player then traps Mommy Longlegs in a grinder and activates the lever, brutally killing her. But after this, a mysterious claw-like hand appears from the bottom of the partially closed door and drags Mommy's severed torso into the dark before the door to the right opens and the player is let back into the game station. But listen to what Mommy Longlegs says as she's being killed.
What have you done? You'll make me part of him!
Now, judging by the few glimpses of prototype that we see, that being his claw, it's pretty safe to assume that this thing probably doesn't have the right type of body to do everything himself, which is why he has Catnap and a bunch of other toys under his command. And him dragging away Mommy Longlegs after her death is probably because he plans to use her attributes to turn himself into this undefeatable monster. But this is most likely his solution to if the other toys fail to kill us. But if they succeed, they get to roam around as normal. Now, going back to Catnap, I'm led to believe there's a chance that he would still be okay with the prototype killing him, even if he was informed of this before it happening. As again, Catnap sees the prototype as his god, and if the prototype told Catnap that he's doing it to save everyone, or told him that he's going to be rebirthed into something far greater, I don't think that he would fight back at all. But now for my third theory, which includes me still thinking that the prototype still killed Catnap due to him failing to kill us. But I think that the prototype already planned on doing this, but seeing that we were still alive caused a change of plans. If we were to stick to the theory that the prototype doesn't have the right body to do what he wants, then he would obviously either need assistance from the other toys, or he would need part of their body altogether. And judging by what he's already done with Mommy Longlegs, it's pretty safe to assume that he won't have the toys a part of his plans the entire time. I'm led to believe that Catnap, along with some of the other toys being under Prototype's command, is temporary, and in the end, he'll kill them off and use their parts to make him stronger. So if Catnap did succeed in killing us, there might have been a chance that the Prototype would either still kill him because he finished his objective and the Prototype doesn't need him as an individual anymore, or he would prepare him for some type of merging process later on to where he's still able to use his parts. But perhaps in the next chapter, we'll be able to get an answer on why this happened, because if you think about it, if the Prototype didn't pop up at the end of chapter 3, we would have most likely still been killed by Catnap despite us fighting back, as right after the flames subside and Catnap sees the Prototype, he gets up and starts to pray to him as nothing happened. So in a weird way, the Prototype saved us from being killed by Catnap, and we might even get to see what he's been doing with all the deceased toys. Who knows? He could be putting himself together with Huggy Wuggy's teeth, Mommy Longlegs' long limbs, and now Catnap's gas, or more specifically his respiration system, as that's where the gas comes from. But let me know down in the comments why you think the Prototype killed Catnap. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and click on this video right here.